guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a guide for attending EDC Las Vegas during COVID this month. Everything you need to know about how COVID is affecting EDC Las Vegas, the festival, camping, and EDC week events. We're going to talk about everything from proof of vaccination, rapid and on-site testing, what you need to know about being in Vegas during COVID right now, so what are their rules and regulations like out on the strip, in hotels, to the updated check-in processes for entering both the festival and the campsite. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Cotton Candy. I am a music festival vlogger and an EDC Las Vegas veteran, and I actually did go to EDC when it was still in California as well. So yeah, I just feel like people probably have a lot of questions about attending EDC Las Vegas. This is the first time it's in October, and obviously the first time they're having it during the pandemic, and I just wanted to create this detailed guide of information you're going to want to know if you're attending. I have been to about 10 to 15 festivals during COVID, including Insomniac events, and I really feel like Insomniac hasn't answered a lot of these questions in detail, so I hope this video helps you out. Really quick, I just want to mention that I am an Insomniac affiliate, so if you ever need tickets to any Insomniac festival, please use the links that are in the description of all my videos. I really appreciate it. Also, I am giving away a free EDC Las Vegas ticket, and the link to enter that giveaway is in the description of this video. It does end this Saturday. So first, we're going to go over the general information about things you need to know about attending the festival. A lot of these things are addressed on their website, on the EDC website. However, they don't really go into it in detail. So as of right now, you do have to provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test within 72 hours of attending the event. You can bring in a physical copy of your vaccine card or your proof of a negative COVID test. However, I highly recommend bringing a digital copy. So just bring a picture or a screenshot of your vaccination card or test on your phone. That way you don't lose it, because if you lose it, you're shit out of luck. You do have to be fully vaccinated to attend, and what that means is your card has to be dated that you got your second dose of Pfizer or Moderna 2 weeks before EDC, or your single dose of Johnson & Johnson within 2 weeks before the event. And unfortunately, that 2-week date before EDC has passed, so if your plan was to be fully vaccinated to attend EDC, unless you had your second dose done by like the 8th, then prepare to also take a negative COVID test because it's not within the 2 weeks. So what kind of tests are accepted? They do have to be a negative PCR or rapid antigen COVID-19 test by an official testing center, and the test results must be dated within 72 hours of you attending the festival, of you checking into the festival. So a lot of times testing centers take within 1 to 3 days to get your results back, and so just keep that in mind when you're planning to take your test. If you're not vaccinated, you're going to want to plan to have your results back on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on if you're camping and entering the campsite on Thursday, or entering the festival not through camping on Friday. You can take at-home testing kits and bring that in as proof of a negative COVID test if you use one of the ones that are time-stamped, like the Illume at-home COVID tests. Do you need to bring proof of vaccination each day of the event, each day of EDC, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? On their website, it says yes, to enter the festival, they will check for verification each day of the festival. And see, that's just a little confusing to me, because it makes sense for events with single day tickets. Every time, if you're going on either like Saturday or Sunday, you obviously need to provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test each of those days, whichever one you go to. However, EDC is a 3-day event. There are no single day tickets, and if you do camping, it's actually a 4-day event. You're entering the campsite on Thursday and leaving on Monday. So as far as like a negative COVID test, especially if you're camping, you do not need to consistently get negative COVID tests. Like, that's just not efficient. How it has worked at every single festival, the 10 to 15 festivals I've been to during COVID for multi-day events, including Insomniac events, is that you show your proof of vaccination or negative COVID test entering the festival for the first time or entering the campsite for the first time. They give you a wristband, and then you keep that wristband on for the whole time during the festival weekend. They will check to make sure you have that COVID pass wristband entering the festival, entering the campsite consistently. I don't think they're gonna check each day and administer new COVID wristbands each day, because that's just not efficient logistically, and also they just haven't done that with any other events they had. If you lose it, then yes, you would need to re-provide proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to get a new one. Someone commented in my Escape Halloween video guide that I just did a couple days ago that ACL, Austin City Limits in Texas, did check for proof of vaccination and a negative COVID test each day of the festival. However, that's the first time I've heard of that, and that's in Texas, and that's not Insomniac, and it's a different situation. Based on my experience, experience with other festivals and Insomniac events, you're only going to need to provide your proof of vaccination or negative COVID test the first time you enter, and they will give you a wristband, just don't lose it and you'll be good. So where can you get tested? When should you get tested? And information on rapid testing. If you're doing the route of a negative test, it's highly encouraged that you take your test not in Vegas. Take it from wherever you're coming from. So like I live in Utah, I would take a negative COVID test here before leaving to Vegas. If you live in California, same thing. Because yeah, when you get to Vegas, the amount of people who are going to be taking tests there, you may not be able to have access to rapid testing. So many people might be trying to get testing for EDC in Vegas that it's just gonna be hard. So I highly recommend that you get the test done before you leave to Vegas. However, if you do need to get one in Vegas, like if you procrastinated or if you're gonna be there the whole week because you're attending EDC week events on the Strip, I will provide a link to where you can get tested in Clark County in the description of this video. This is something that they have not mentioned or talked about anywhere. I don't think. I wasn't able to find any information on the website or in any of their Q&As that they've done. Will there be on-site rapid testing at the event, entering the festival or entering the campsite? And they don't mention anything about it, but they did provide on-site rapid testing at the Beyond Wonderland, so like their most recent events. The only thing is like I would recommend not relying on that because the lines, like every festival I've been to, the lines to get rapid testing are so ridiculously long, and even if you take the test and it comes out negative, it just probably won't be worth the amount of time you're gonna waste standing in those really long lines. Like it can totally mess up the process of checking into the campsite because when you check in, like you have to be with your group. It's a long check-in process. You have to get like your camping wristbands, go through security, etc., which I'll go over in a little bit. So having one or two people in your group having to deal with the delays of getting a rapid COVID test on site while you guys are trying to do the check-in process, like it's just gonna be a mess. I highly recommend that you do not rely on on-site testing. However, I do think it'll be there if there's an emergency case where you really need to do it. But I would highly recommend following my last few tips, which is getting it done before you leave to Vegas and making sure the results are within 72 hours of when you enter the festival or the campsite. Can you get a refund of your EDC Las Vegas ticket if you test positive for COVID? The answer is no. Unfortunately, in the terms and conditions of attending the festival, there are no refunds even for COVID anymore. Like at some point, they were offering refunds and exchanges to EDC 2022. However, that is no longer open, unfortunately. Another reason why I highly recommend not attending EDC Las Vegas with the mindset that you can do on-site rapid testing there. Because if you were to test positive, you would not be allowed into the festival. Like I said, you can reference their website for all of the information I just went over and other information about COVID, but like really, I feel like those questions are just not answered well, and they're definitely not answered in detail. So I hope this information helped you out a bit. So let's talk about masks really quick. Masks are not required to attend EDC Las Vegas. Like I literally never see people wearing masks at events anymore, which is kind of sad because they used to be part of our rave outfit. I still wear masks as part of my rave outfit, but yeah, probably like 99% of the people there will not be wearing masks. However, do make a note that there is a mask mandate in Vegas. So if you're staying at hotels, if you're going to events for EDC Las Vegas on the Strip, like clubs, there is a mask mandate. You will have to wear a mask to those events. You do need to wear a mask when you enter the stores, when you enter gas stations, when you enter food places. So just keep that in mind. If you forget your mask, which sometimes I do going to Vegas, I go to Vegas a lot. So if you forget your mask, a lot of the times hotels will be handing out masks at the entrance. You do have to wear masks in ride shares like Uber or Lyft. I don't know if you have to wear them for the shuttle buses that are specifically for EDC. They have not answered those questions yet, but I would bring a mask just in case if you're taking the shuttle bus. There's also a mask mandate for the airport. So if you're flying into Vegas, be aware of that. But actually you have to wear a mask at any airport. So you would also have to wear it flying from wherever you are to Vegas. You have to wear a mask on the plane for all airlines. A tip I would give you for attending EDC Las Vegas and EDC week is to bring quite a few extra masks. I plan on bringing several because having to wear a mask for all of these different times, when you wear them that often, they get dirty and you're just gonna want a clean, fresh one, especially if you're spending a week of time in Vegas. So let's talk about the festival entry process and the checkpoints you're gonna have to go through each day of the festival, whether you're driving or taking the shuttle buses. And then we're gonna talk about the camping entry process and checkpoint for if you're doing Camp EDC, because things will be a little bit different. So if you're driving or taking a ride share to EDC Las Vegas, most likely it's gonna be set up like they did with Beyond Wonderland, where there are different checkpoints before you get into the festival. So the first one is probably definitely going to be proof of vaccination or negative COVID test. They will check this and give you a wristband. Like I said, I do not think they're going to be dispersing one for each day of the festival because that just doesn't make sense. If you keep this wristband on for the whole weekend, you should be good. That's how every music festival I've been to has done it. That's how every Insomniac festival I've been to has done it. If they do anything otherwise, I think that is so important that they will post about that on their social media. But unless they specifically post something saying that you need a different negative COVID test for each day of the festival, then I would plan on it being just like what I just said. So you'll get your COVID wristband at one checkpoint, get your ID checked, making sure you're 18 and over or 21 and over if you have a VIP wristband, because you have to be 21 or over to attend with VIP. Then they will scan your ticket wristband, which you should have gotten in the mail, and then you will go through security each day entering the festival. Now, if you bought one of the official shuttles to EDC Las Vegas, it could be a little different, because what they have done in the past is at the shuttle stops, to get on the shuttle, they actually have a security checkpoint where you go through security there before getting onto the shuttle bus, which is nice because then you arrive at the festival and you don't have to go through security again. So I have a feeling that the shuttle stops will be the place where you provide your proof of vaccination and get your COVID wristband there, and then you will also go through security and have at least those two things done before you get on the shuttle bus. Insomniac is all about efficiency, which is why they started doing the security before getting on the shuttle. So that plan kind of makes sense to me. Now let's talk about the camping entry process and the checkpoints to get in. So if you're camping, when you got your Camp EDC wristband in the mail, it came with this information envelope, and it has a bunch of information for checking in, what to bring, where to go. The only thing is that because this kept getting postponed, these were probably printed ahead of time, and there's no mention of COVID guidelines of the COVID check-in process, so I'm just gonna go over that with you. A brief overview of the general check-in process for Camp EDC, if you haven't gone yet though, is true what's on the yellow informational paper. You do have to be wearing your festival wristband that you received in the mail in your ticket boxes. If you don't have that yet, you have to go to will call before you could check in to camping at EDC, so you have to have that. Then you have to bring the decal, which I call decal, but my boyfriend says it's decal or whatever. It's so cringe to him. It's so cringe to him that I'm gonna keep saying it. So you wanna make sure that the decal is placed on your cart according to their instructions. So this was my nocturnal one. We ended up not going to nocturnal because my boyfriend tested positive. I'm super lame to cancel our plan, so I kept this. But this is what it looks like. It goes on the inside of your car window, the bottom corner of the driver's side, and then you also have that card that you need to check in and get your camping festival wristbands. So wear that around your neck, do not lose it. If you're doing the Moon Glow or Desert Rose Shift Pod camping, since they haven't released any information about COVID specifically for the check-in process, I'm highly certain that there will probably be like 2 checkpoints set up. So like proof of vaccination or negative COVID test, and then to check in and get your wristband for entering and leaving the campsite. And at this check-in is where you're gonna provide your card to exchange for your camping wristbands. When you get there, they're gonna register everyone in your group who's camping with you with their names and their phone numbers. They will also be checking your ID because you do have to be 18 or over to attend the festival. And then after that is where you take everything that you brought through security. So your suitcases, your camping gear, your air mattresses, your coolers with drinks, etc. You're gonna have to take that all through a camping checkpoint where they will look through all of your stuff to make sure you don't have any of the prohibited items. You can see the full list on their website. I highly recommend checking it out. As for RVs, it'll be very similar. The only thing is that the security will be different because you don't have to carry all your stuff through security. Security is gonna go through all your stuff in the RV. And yeah, that's basically how the check-in processes are going to go. So like I said, you should only need to provide your proof of vaccination and negative COVID test, checking into the campsite, and then you will have your wristband. Just don't lose it because you need to have it to get into the festival each day when you enter from the campsite to the festival. I do have other very informational videos about camping at EDC that I will link to in the description of this video, and I do have a lot of tip videos in general about EDC, which I will also link to, but this video is very important because yes, some things have changed because of COVID, so it's very important that we highlight this stuff. Just an honest warning about attending EDC Las Vegas during COVID. Like, COVID will be there. If you are worried about getting COVID, just keep that in mind. I think everyone who attends any festival or concert during COVID is aware of the risk of being around thousands and thousands of people. I've been to a lot of festivals during COVID. I am fully vaccinated, have been since like April, so I was really never worried. And of all of the festivals I've been to, I only got COVID once. So yes, I did get COVID even after being vaccinated, but again, I go to like so many music festivals, so many clubs, concerts, raves. I do so many things, so like how much I do stuff with around thousands and thousands of people, like it was kind of inevitable that I could get it. However, when I got it, I tested positive for it, but I didn't get sick, like at all, so there's that. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you found it a little helpful if you're attending EDC. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome, helpful EDC tip videos if you're going. I did want to do a new Camp EDC festival guide because I do have one video that's very thorough. However, I do think I'm overdue, especially with COVID and everything, to come out with a new, very detailed guide about camping at EDC. I know we're getting so close to the event. I've just been so busy. I'm gonna do my best to give it up as soon as possible. Thank you guys for being patient. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Also, let me know in the comments if you're going to EDC Las Vegas too. Please keep an eye out for me and my boyfriend. We love meeting new people. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate you so much and I can't wait to see you all under the electric sky. Until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.